There were many trees in the Garden of Eden, obviously because it was a garden. But two trees were distinct, not because they weren't bearing orange juice or vitamins alone, but because God separated these two trees and marked one as a no-go area, but the other one He said they could eat. All right. Well, the one He said they could eat, which was the tree of life, was the one they didn't eat. Isn't it amazing that when you see a sign that reads "Do not park," that's exactly where you want to try to park for like just 1 minute. And when someone tells you don't touch the wall, the paints are still wet, that's exactly why you want to touch it. So in Genesis chapter 2 and verse 17, God didn't say when you eat of it you will die. He didn't say it like that. He didn't say you will die. He didn't say they will die. It says you will surely die. You will surely die and you will die are two different words. Another translation says you are dead. Now, for someone who created the heavens and the earth with only words, and I've altered this word, you should know this word means exactly something that has already been activated, and the only antidote will be don't eat it. Now, the "you will surely die" was activated, then some things started playing out. And you should note that God didn't curse the man and his wife, He only cursed the serpent. And for the curse, for man, the curse was spoken in the direction of the things that produce around him. So when you discover you are fighting everybody around you, when everyone begins to offend you, when you see that you start fighting every support system, take note. If your life is like this, quickly run to God. There was an already activated challenge of you will surely die on ground. That one alone is so heavy that it will take Christ to remove that weight. Now, here is the lesson. The last portion of the curse God directed to the man was, "For dust you are, and to dust you will return." There were plenty issues at the same time. Spiritual death, physical death, everything that produced is cursed around him. Everything around him was sounding dead. Now, then notice that the next thing Adam did, once he knew that you will surely die was activated, he looked at his wife and changed her name to Eve, which means the mother of all living. Before now, her name was more like the bones of my bones and the flesh of my flesh. She will be called woman taken from man. But this time the description had to change, because the challenge on ground is not just a matter of bones. This is a serious spiritual destiny issue. So it has to be the mother of all living. At that point, Adam didn't say, "You are the love of my life," or "You are my wife." This time she has to be redefined as the mother of all living, because all of us were now involved. Now, this is an issue that is more than all of us. And there is one authority God gave me. Whatever I call every living creature, that was its name. So Genesis chapter 2 verse 19 says, God brought all the beasts of the field to Adam to see what Adam would name them. I thought it was supposed to be to hear what Adam would name them, but it was to see what Adam would name them. And by seeing, God means and by seeing means God was there to observe. God was there to observe, because God had already named them before He called in Adam to name them. By naming doesn't mean calling them dogs, hippopotamus, or lion, or giraffe, or goat. It means He was defining the nature and genetic character of this beast. Meanwhile, God had already knew the traits of all these beasts. This is why the Bible said, whatever He called each living creature, that was its name. Was its name. Was means they already had names. He only reaffirmed the nature of this beast before the Lord. As far as dominion is concerned, it's only God that could have named Adam. Giving names to things is a sign of dominion or authority. That is why it was Adam that named Eve woman, not God. Aside from God and Adam, there's only one greater than Eve at that moment, and Adam was the only one who had the authority to name her. So if he didn't rename her, they will have to wait for maybe Jesus, who is the second and greater Adam, to rename her. Adam renaming his wife was a huge step that showed that he had already learned the power of the creative word from God's presence. Even though renaming his wife would not change the whole situation of redemption, but Adam knew that myself and my wife may have sinned, but for those ones who are yet to come, if there's anything at all, let them carry life. If Cain turned out to be like the way he turned, imagine if Adam hadn't called his wife the mother of all living. Cain would have been worse. for you to know that God was paying attention to Adam's action, immediately after this, God took them to Elohim boutique and clothing line, gave them a good outfit. All these issues were playing out while they were still in the Garden of Eden. And the only reason God removed them from the Garden of Eden, was not because they ate from the forbidden tree, but because He didn't want them to eat from the tree of life. Whatever you call the situation around your life, that is what they will be. Now, we not only come from Eve, the mother of all living, but we have the life-giving Spirit of God indwelling within us. Adam has taught us that you don't look at your current problem and situation and accept it. Adam did not manage his wife like that. Instead, he changed the death around him by words in his own way. Look at the current situation of your health, your barrenness, your chaos, and the failure reports that are around you, and speak life into it. It is if it changes or not, keep speaking the life of God into it every time. It is listening.